This is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. It is a character action game developed by Mercury Steam in 2014. And oh boy, I don't think anyone in the history of humanity has ever been this excited for fucking Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 as I am at this very moment.
Are you kidding me? I'm moist. And it's not just because I'm sweating.
Sweating with anticipation, you mean?
That's right. The book!
This is the Book of Dracula. It is actually plot relevant. And it continues the book motif. Here we see Dracula looking over his book reports. As you can see, they've all been given a D.
You know, I do kind of like the title screen just being Dracula reading this book.
The D stands for Dracula, of course.
This is well done. Can this just be the whole game?
It is a great title screen. I really like it. In fact, the game's title screen is so immersive, it doesn't even let you change options at the beginning of the game. You just jump straight into it after hitting start and doing like a quick adjustment for settings and for brightness.
Really?
Yep.
I can see 3 moons on my screen. Hang on, let me adjust my monitor.
And this game actually does have a couple of decent PC settings, unlike the first 2 games. And we're going to be playing on hard this time. Prince of Darkness is the very hard difficulty setting that unlocks on New Game Plus.
The Brotherhood's siege is in vain. I am Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Gabriel is the one doing the narration now. It's much shorter, but there are narrations now for every single objective.
Ooh.
So, you know, quantity over quality, I guess.
I already kind of love the atmosphere.
Yeah, you'll notice we're not quite in the present day yet. This game takes its time getting up to the modern day stinger from the end of the first game. Watch out, cameraman, you're gonna crash!
Oh no!
Oh, okay, that was anticlimactic.
It's okay, I think it was just beams of light. Not actual glass.
It's like the candy glass that's used on Hollywood sets. Hey, there's his wine glass.
Oh. Now this is Dracula.
Sorry, it's Dracula, not Dracula.
Dracula.
Dracula, a reference to the father of Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Dracul.
Does that mean that Alucard is actually Dracula?
No, it's just a historical in-joke.
I know, but technically speaking, wouldn't that make Alucard Dracula?
Well, Dracula means son of the dragon, so...
Oh, beautiful.
Sturdy wine glass.
Yep. Oh my god, we have a free camera mode now! Revolutionary!
Oh.
It broke new ground!
Okay, I know we're playing the PC version. Was this game released on 360 and PS3 as well, or was this actually a next gen for PS4 and Xbox One?
It was 2014, came out 360 and PS3.
Well done!
Yeah, I've added a lot more joke edits this time.
We're here to tutorial the fuck out of you.
Us and the DK crew. Oh, it's so good to be playing an interesting game again.
Steady, lads. We can take it.
You boys about to get fucked up. That's what's gonna happen here.
What a timely coincidence.
By God, of course, he's referring to Iga.
Oh, that's not a wine glass. That's a goblet.
Mm.
You better watch out, boys, because I just finished the tutorial.
I know how to jump now.
I've got a free-range camera. You fuckers are so screwed. So combat is changed up a little bit from the first game. Basically, it's taking into account the fact that you are playing the most powerful vampire on Earth. So things move a little bit faster now.
You're mom. Move away. He's lying.
Also, on one hand, enemies telegraph their unblockable attacks much more visibly. But on the other hand, if you are hit by an unblockable attack, the punishment for doing so is much more severe.
Ooh.
And it is not an uncommon sight to just get staggered by multiple unblockable attacks in a row.
Jeez.
You really have to rely on the quick recovery which was a useful but not necessary move from the first game, and now it's pretty much essential if you get hit. Also, the finishing moves are now pretty much what you expect, because Gabriel is Dracula now. Nom 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 nom. Cherry flavored.
Come here.
Can't believe you just murdered that poor cherry boy.
Yeah, these are the Brotherhood of Light Soldiers. We only see them in the prologue. They're basically cannon fodder.
I do like the QTE circles in this game. They look a lot more intricate than the first games.
There's a lot of the UI has been redesigned to be much more visible and just easier to read.
Whoa! I gotta say, this is already stunning. Like, I don't know why anyone can hate this in the first 5 minutes.
We'll get to it. This game has plenty of issues, but presentation is not one of them.
Take him down.
As I hinted oh so subtly at the end of the Mirror of Fate LP, Dracula has access to the Voided Sword and the Chaos Claws in Lords of Shadow 2. Those are his main sub-weapons. And it really makes a huge difference compared to the first game because they are actually different weapons now, as opposed to just making blue whip or orange whip. Yeah, you gotta use your quick recovery. I recorded this pretty soon after finishing Mirror of Fate, at least this first intro section, so I was still kind of rusty. I was still traumatized having played so much Mirror of Fate.
So you needed a palate cleanser.
Yes. Chaos Claws, they act pretty much the same way that you treat any heavy weapon. You'll see a lot of enemies that won't necessarily... They can't... It's not as though they can only be defeated by certain weapons. It's that they have defenses that can only be broken by the Chaos Claws. And it's usually not that difficult to get magic back. Emphasis on usually.
The game giveth, and the game taketh away.
Oh yes. Like I said, there will be plenty of time to talk about this game's flaws. In detail. But for now, let's just enjoy what we have. One of the great things about the new weapons is your ability to switch between them at any time. It really allows for really intricate combos. The game's combo system is very freeform in that there's only like maybe a couple of dozen potential moves or combos at your disposal, and you can just switch between them.
Oh, so it's like a more recent Devil May Cry then.
Yeah. I wouldn't... It's not quite that intricate, but yeah, it's the same basic system.
Yeah, I'm mostly just thinking about like how Devil May Cry 3 backported 5's weapon swap system.
Yeah, and things will get even more interesting when... come on, use the quick recovery, please. Also, Gabriel starts off with all of his moves and skills activated from the very beginning. I'm showing off some of the more advanced moves. That one, I believe, is the Blizzard move for Void Storm, for the Void Sword, which is really overpowered, and I'm going to avoid using it for most of the LP because it completely breaks the game.
Ooh.
I just don't want to use it.
Is it just the lighting, or is his skin actually getting some color again?
I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's just the lighting.
That's gonna cost a fortune getting that renovated.
Well, I imagine as an immortal vampire, your earning potential has just kind of shot through the roof.
Well, I mean, think about the life insurance, though. No one wants to take them. Anyway, climbing has been a bit more streamlined. You can, at any time if you want, hold down the left trigger to see the path outlined before you. It's totally optional, though.
Nice.
Yeah, mostly it's there if the level design becomes a little too confusing and things aren't outlined the way they really should be.
And I have to presume there will be a point in this game, or two or more, where that is the case.
Yeah, it really depends on which area you're in. Anyway, I will be playing with some of the options turned off. I'll go into a little more detail later on that. I wonder what's behind this curtain. Oh great, someone's Helm's Deep recreation community just went way too far this time.
What is a man? But a miserable pile of secrets.
I clapped. I clapped when I heard the line.
Who are you saying that to?
He's saying it to the audience, obviously.
Not that I don't appreciate the line, but
Look at that mech.
wow, that's actually kind of incredible. Is Kojima on this game too, or?
Well, this was 2014. He was already really deep into Phantom Pain, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Be your ruin.
I can't imagine he would have had a whole lot of time to consult on this while fighting off Konami at every step of the way in Phantom Pain.
All right, so boss fights. Pretty much every single boss fight in this game is really good at the very least. Like there's like individual parts of boss fights I don't like, but overall, I cannot think of a single bad boss. This is the Paladin. He is the Brotherhood of Light's chosen one, or at least like the latest in a bunch of chosen ones, who is trying to take down Gabriel. And he's got a couple of pretty nasty attacks, but he's still more of a warm-up boss.
Let us introduce you to the concept of boss battles. I want to know what the robot thing is.
Yeah, this is
Like-
giving me some Nier Automata vibes.
Well, lucky for you, we may just be spending most of the rest of this video climbing on it.
Oh hell yes.
Come here.
So I'm kind of curious. How many? This isn't the first time the Brotherhood has tried to slay Dracula, is it?
No, this is not. But this is the first time they've directly tried to attack Dracula's castle.
Hmm. 'Cause,
This really reminds me of the both the Colossus of Rhodes in God of War 2 and also the fight in Gaia and against Poseidon in the start of God of War 3. Like, they clearly knew who they were cribbing from.
Oh, yeah.
Can you knock these guys off the arm?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
Well-
the mech can, but can you?
I don't think so now.
Damn.
But they can. They could try to smash you off. This is just such a great set piece. I love it.
Oh my god.
So basically, you just have to match the QTEs and wait until the supports on the mech's arm break off from the pressure of smashing into the castle. At which point, you can advance further onto the arm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a little more to the climbing, which I'll be showing off later. And also, the Paladin will keep trying to shoot us down. He's got that little crosshair, and he will shoot that fiery bow, which then becomes a gimmick.
I just want to say I hate whoever set up all these bolts on the mech arm and how it's all just all over the place.
It's really convenient for Gabriel, though.
Is it? Because he has to just like climb all over just to go up.
I don't know. I mean, who knows how long he's been in that castle? He needs some exercise. Maybe it was, Gabriel's personal trainer, deep undercover, designing the Siege Titan specifically for him to climb around. You don't know.
So, Kato from the Pink Panther movies kind of went crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, who would be the Clouseau of the Lords of Shadow universe?
I mean, I have to assume in this analogy it's Gabriel, but I could be wrong.
All right, so now we're expanding on the shooting out the bolts gimmick. We're now doing it on the ground. And we have to do it while fighting off a bunch of enemies. Really, this is like the best parts of all of the really big God of War set pieces, all put together.
You know, I was just about to ask if the Paladin could shoot the mooks, but I think I just got my answer.
Yep, he can. I mean, you kind of have to kite him into doing it, but he can. He won't go after them unless they're in the line of fire.
The arrow shots aren't doing as much to them as I thought they would, which is a little disappointing, but oh well.
Yeah, you basically have to you have to make sure there is a little bit of luck involved, because if you're really unlucky, you have to dodge at like the right times or the wrong times, I guess, and then the Paladin will aim just out of the range of the rivets. Also, can I just say the sound design in this game is incredible. I have done a little bit of mixing just to bring out the bass a bit, but other than that, it's all... This game has some incredible sound mixing. And the original composer for this game, Oscar Araujo, is back, and the game's score is nothing like the first game's, but it's just as good.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the atmosphere they're building.
All right, come on. Come on, Paladin. There we go. On the other hand, some of the voice acting for the Brotherhood of Light Soldiers is a little iffy, just because this is a one-off enemy you don't really see again, so I guess they didn't put as much work into it.
That makes sense, yeah.
Which one is Nolan North?
Actually, I don't think Nolan North is in this game, surprisingly. I think it was mostly
Amazing.
British. I think it was mostly European actors. I don't think there were any of the the unionized voice actors who worked on this game. I'll have to double check later.
I would assume so, just based on the cast lists of the first 2 games. And just how generally, if you get one studio, you're probably only going to get actors from that region. Unless they're going all out on the production, which it's kind of rare to see them do something like that.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, the Japanese dub of Lords of Shadow 1 is pretty much consists of all of Konami's regulars. Like, pretty much almost the entire Metal Gear cast is in that dub.
Plus Kojima, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah, Kojima voiced the Chupacabra.
Which I still laugh at.
Yeah, I'm really sad that he does not get to voice the Chupacabra in this game, for reasons that will become evident. Yeah, whatever you say, Paladin. So you'll notice that there are some moves that have that were used to be from the combat cross that have been moved over to others. For instance, there was that Shoryuken that Gabriel did, which used to be a move with the Dark Gauntlet. That is now the YA attack on the combat cross.
He's lying!
There's also this really annoying thing. Enemies who are on the ground, or lying down on the ground, or have been knocked down, you have to wait until they get up before you can use the finisher on them.
That is annoying, yeah.
Yeah, that is incredibly annoying, and as you'll see later, it actually causes some problems for me in later videos. I do like the visual signifiers that are used on their shields. In terms of how hot they've gotten. The shields do regenerate over time if you don't keep up the pressure on them. And that the same goes for any other shield or other barrier that can only be broken by the Chaos Claws.
I just like to point out we're ripping apart a wooden robot in a Castlevania game.
Yeah, a wooden mecha. A Christian wooden mecha. Alright, here we go. One of my favorite cutscenes in the intro. Okay, however, shall Gabriel deal with this situation?
What?!
Okay.
Well, I just vomited up 3 centuries worth of breakfast there.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's hilariously bad, but why? Why
I
is
don't
this
know
a thing?
the purpose of that. I really don't know.
There had to have been better ways to do that. Not that I don't appreciate it, but there had to be more practical ways than regurgitating your entire intake for the last couple centuries.
Gallons of it.
I'm sure there were, but I don't know what the purpose was. It's like Evelyn's mold in Resident Evil 7. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't played Resident Evil 7 yet.
Welcome to the family.
So wait, you said that was your favorite cutscene of this game?
No, just in the intro.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, it's all downhill from here then, huh?
No. Actually, no. It's tied for my favorite cutscene. There's tied for my favorite cutscene in the intro. The very last one is also really good.
Yeah, thank God for renter's insurance, huh, bud?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get this cleaned up until at least 2300. How convenient. You created a boss fight arena for me.
Tonight will be your last, Prince of Darkness.
Alright, the last boss fight with the Paladin. And he is really tough this time, well, relatively speaking. He has he can theoretically have 3 unblockable attacks in a row if you get really unlucky. And only one of his attacks is parryable. He also has that, which is easy to dodge, but if you get caught in it, it really hurts. He also has 2 different dodgeable but unblockable attacks, which have to either be jumped over or dodged across.
Back to hell, demon.
Like that.
He's just taking this out of Death's playbook from, like, an Iga game, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can he hit himself when he shoots in the air?
No.
Ah, come on.
Yeah, so this is introducing you to guard breakers, which was a concept from the first game. Wasn't really well explained. So here they're explicitly giving you a tutorial about it.
You don't belong in this world.
Lovely. Yeah, the intro really goes out with the Symphony of the Night references.
This dude isn't supposed to be Lords of Shadow version Richter, is he?
No.
Okay.
This I believe is an original character. I think his name is Roland.
I'm gonna guess he's recurring throughout the game.
Die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
Okay, it was only funny
It was
the
not
first
by
time.
my hand that I was. I forget the rest of it.
Once again, given flesh.
Yeah. I was brought to this world by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
You know, I don't think that speech quite works for this version of Drac.
Come and face me.
Tribute, you steal men's bank accounts and make them your end users. Oh sure, give me the unblockable attack when I'm like right next to the boss. Thanks, game.
I am glad none of this was done at Konami proper at the time that this came out, because they really stopped giving a shit about the 3rd year of Phantom Pain's development.
What, are you kidding? This is a representation of a fight between Konami HQ, their CEOs, and their programmers. This is a documentary.
You're talking about this whole game, right?
Yeah, and in particular this boss fight.
Okay, because even though this wasn't done in-house at Konami, I've heard some horror stories about the development of this game.
This is exactly how Kojima left. This was his last day.
Christus vivit. Istus regnat. Christus ab omni malo te defendat. Maledictiat excommunicate daemones. In virtute storum factorum Dei
I was
nomini.
like you once.
I was once bald.
But your god showed me another path.
Messias.
He showed me the power of Rogaine.
Soter. Sabaoth. Agios. Inkyros. Athanatos. Jehovah. Adonai.
That's why the
Tetragrammaton.
power of your god
Vos constrigumus.
cannot
Et
destroy.
separamus. A
Because
creatura
I
ista.
am his chosen one.
Et ab omni locuetur.
Okay, I changed my mind. This is my favorite scene from the intro.
Digna Dei.
Praecipimus
Praecipimus
vobis,
vobis,
ad
queligamus
queligamus vos ut non habeatus.
Oh,
hey, someone destroyed the One Ring. That was nice.
Potestatum per pestem nec per aliquod. Quodamque maleficium.
Klaatu Varada.
In anima nec in corpore.
So, did you know that in the year of our Lord 1547, a good chunk of Western Europe was destroyed in a nuclear explosion?
I am really fuzzy on my history, but
I think I remember that from my from history class back in high school. It was a very weird lesson that day.
Yeah, I'll buy it for now. This is my bludgeoning cross. I bludgeon people with it.
Reminds me of the good old days when I was still a member of the Brotherhood. Back when only one woman died for me. Who could that be, I possibly wonder?
It's Julius.
All
it's
right,
Julius Belmont.
Oh yeah, oh shit, who is the woman from Castlevania Adventures?
Sonia.
Sonia, yeah, it's absolutely Sonia. All right, so before we sign off, a little bit of history about that incantation that Roland was attempting to use on Dracula. So, first of all, bit of history. For those of you who don't know, Charles II of Spain was the last Habsburg ruler, last member of the Habsburg dynasty. He died childless, and in his death in 1700 caused the Spanish War of Secession. The War of Spanish Secession in 1701. So it was commonly believed that Charles II was bewitched, that he was possessed by the devil. In fact, there was like this whole inquiry after his death, where people believed that people believed that he had been bewitched, and some people were brought to trial, believing that he had been bewitched. In fact, they were not convicted; they were acquitted, and then the Grand Inquisitor in charge attempted to get the jurors who had acquitted him arrested. That's just an anecdotal evidence. Anyway, okay, fast forward to 1863. A man by the name of Sir John Bowring publishes a sensationalized version of that Inquisition regarding the death of Charles II. It's called A Bewitched King. Publishes it in Macmillan's Magazine. It's a whole it's a short story, speculative fiction, where it turns out that Charles II actually was possessed by the devil. And not only that, he was possessed twice, and that his mother was in on the whole thing. And at the end, it turns out that, it's too late to save Charles. But when it comes to because the Inquisitor is interviewing someone else who has been possessed by the devil, and he uses a particular incantation to bring out the devil from the person that he had been interviewing. And an abridged version of that incantation is what Roland tries to use against Gabriel. And I have the approximate English translation here from Latin, just of the abbreviated version of the incantation, the one that's used in Lords of Shadow 2. Christ lives, Christ reigns, Christ will defeat all evil from you, curse and excommunicate all demons, in virtue of the deeds in his name. And that lists the various names of God that are invoked. Worthy God, by these names we demand to you, us without power and bound to you, by your great powers or not by them, to kill all felons with an enchantment in spirit and in body. Yeah, the Latin one that's used is actually significantly longer, the one that's in A Bewitched King, and I will post it into the thread for anyone who's interested in reading it and has a significant degree in Latin enough to translate it.
So that's your homework, kids.
And that was the intro to Lords of Shadow 2.
I'm gonna like this. Yeah, I am digging what I'm seeing so far. Don't let me down here.